Should FBI leadership be fired? It's January 3rd, 2025, and these are your headlines. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick certainly thinks so. He's arguing that the fact that the New Orleans FBI special agent in charge should be terminated after claiming that the New Year's Day attack in New Orleans was not an act of terrorism. Now, 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar drove his truck through a crowd of people celebrating New Year's Day in Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing at least 14 people and severely injuring dozens more. Jabbar was killed in a subsequent shootout with police officers. Although multiple improvised explosive devices were discovered after the attack, FBI Special Agent in charge Alethea Duncan said that it was, quote, not a terrorist event. Really? In response, Lieutenant Governor Patrick said that Alethea's characterization of the massacre was idiotic. Patrick also said that even at the time, Texas law enforcement officials had enough information to conclude that the attack was indeed terrorism. Additionally, he said that the possession of an ISIS flag sends a clear message itself. Now, the truck reportedly used in the attack crossed the border at Eagle Pass late last year. Jabbar was a U.S. citizen from Texas. Governor Greg Abbott has said that he's working closely with the Texas Department of Public Safety to ensure that no one in this state faces similar threats. New legislation has been filed to stop government entities from restricting Second Amendment rights of handgun license holders. House Bill 1715 by Representative Briscoe Cain requires that contracts for the use of property owned or leased by government entities, like cities, include a provision that prohibits contractors from restricting handgun license holders from carrying firearms on the property. Exceptions are made if other laws specifically prohibiting the carrying of handguns on the property exist. Now, Cain's legislation comes after the State Fair of Texas. Remember, they prohibited attendees from bringing firearms to last year's fair, even those with a license. Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against the city of Dallas, who owns Fair Park, where the state fair is held, for banning firearms. A Dallas judge ruled in favor of the ban, saying it could stay in place because there wasn't sufficient evidence to prove that the firearm ban violated state law. Paxton appealed, but the Texas Supreme Court sided with the city of Dallas at that time, keeping the ban in place.
America is at a crossroads. Now, more than ever, Texas must step up and lead the country. We don't have time to mess around. The only way to save America is with a strong Texas. You and I know this, but so do the enemies of life and liberty. Therefore, you and I have no choice but to stand up and fight. I'm Sarah Gonzalez, and to the enemies of liberty, I say, come and take it.
Republicans in Bastrop County have approved a resolution voicing disapproval of their representative, Stan Gerdes, for his performance in the Texas House. On Tuesday of this week, the Bastrop County Republican Party released a resolution saying that many voters in the county are disappointed with Representative Gerdes for not following the rules of the Texas House Republican Caucus. Republican voters in the county said they disapproved of the following actions: supporting Dade Phelan as House Speaker, siding with Democrats, voting to impeach Attorney General Paxton, being uninvolved and unresponsive to constituents. They also talked about a lack of transparency, calling those that oppose his politics the, quote, rage mob, tardy and dishonest responses, and walking out of the recent caucus vote and supporting the Democrats' choice for Speaker Dustin Burrows. Now, BCRP's executive committee is also calling on Gerdes to vote for the Texas House Republican Caucus nominee David Cook for Speaker, and noted that if he chooses to vote against Cook, it will be considered a censurable act. The committee also stated that if Cook chooses to withdraw from the Speaker's race, if Gerdes votes for a candidate who has not publicly pledged to comply with the Republican Party of Texas's priority of no Democrat chairs, that will also constitute a censurable act. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.